Let's bring
Yeah.
Cody in, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in. Cody, what's going on, bud?
Gentlemen, good evening.
Yes, hello. I won't call you a nerd, even though Steven loves to. Steven, by all means, call him a nerd if you like. Get it over with.
Our analytics expert, otherwise known as the honorary member of Lambda on the staff here. Cody does all the analytics. If you've read his stuff, you know it's fantastic stuff. I get a headache about halfway through. I have to stop like 3 times so I can read the whole thing because my head just starts spinning. But we did have a good analytics question, Andy, if you can pop that up for you.
Absolutely.
We want to put this one to you. Can we get an updated cap projection? And obviously, since we're just throwing this at you, it doesn't have to be exact.
No, it has to be. What do you mean?
If it's off $4,
this guy's a numbers guy.
Yeah, we're going to lock you in your locker, but you're probably used to that. But you see it in front of you there, Cody. What do you got for us as far as that goes?
I don't have that figure off the top of my head, but there's obviously a way to afford all of these guys, especially with the way that Nick Chubb's contract was worked. So it's essentially a 2-year contract. When you look at the figures, you know, after that second year, I think it's a $12.2 million cap space that could be freed up, if off the top of my head, if that's correct. So there is savings there in that after that second year, which coincides, I don't think by any means coincidentally, with where we typically see the running back fall off in the NFL. You know, that sweet spot, most studies will tell you, is in between the 1,200 to 1,500 carry mark is when most running backs start to deplete talent-wise. Maybe you're not 100%. Maybe you become 75 to 85% of your typical talent level at that point. So Nick Chubb's at around, I think, 700 carries at this point. So you figure 2 years out, maybe, based upon his average per carries over the past couple of years, that around that time, 2 years out, you're going to have that cap savings there. So I don't think it's beyond anything that Andrew Berry has done so far with contracts to say that they can't work all these guys in there. I don't think there's any way that it wouldn't happen. Now,
I think you're right. I think it's not coincidental that's, you know, the analytical cliff for a lot of running backs. And now Nick is very special and he may not get that. But I think the other reason that they worked it that way is that in 2023, it's also not coincidental. That is when everyone expects the cap to take its next giant jump. So if he is still, you know, capital N, capital C, Nick Chubb, and hasn't lost a step and they want to keep him, they'll be able to afford it at that point because the cap's going to be going up so much. And I think I looked at it. I don't think we have all of the details yet. I don't know if we know if there's voidable years. I'd be shocked if there weren't because they've done that with just about every contract. But I do know that the dead cap for post June 1st movement, whether it's a cut or a trade starting in that 2023 year, is very reasonable. I think it's like $8 million over 2 years, and they can spread it out a couple different ways or something like that. So Brad Ward, I would like to really quickly Brad Ward had those graphics that we just used. Our friend over at All Eyes on Cleveland does a great job with the podcast. Absolutely. Over there. I've been a guest on his pod. Does a wonderful job. Those were his graphics. We didn't want to, just take them and not give him a shout out on that. Absolutely.